My name is Vesper Fortune, Battle Fortune, with your fate, here to tell you, here to help you change yours. I was about to say tell you to change yours. Using webcam today, so that's why my mouth is moving weird, moving differently. And why my hold on, let me just there we go. There we go, my eyes should look a little more normal now, but my mouth seems to be incredibly disgusted at even the thought of streaming. My webcam tracks my eyes better for some reason, though. I hope everyone's doing well tonight. We're going to be chilling out, reading some more Dracula. I've been busy today. I've done some chores. I haven't been like too busy. I'm playing the rating game on an email. Cause Vesper looks like Oh, thank you for the care package, Galaxy. Yeah. I am playing the waiting game for an email from my... See if my regards will answer the email, and if not, I'm just going to be like, listen, you haven't talked to me in months. I'm moving on with this project to someone else. Greetings, salutations, and jalapeno Chex Mix. For those of you who want to know what Charlemagne founded, it's the Holy Roman Empire. Those of you who want to know what happened when Dracula went to Italy and took a level in cleric, it's the Holy Roman Vampire. Fornos, hi, hello, RX, how are you tonight? Welcome in. Do not mind my mouth. I am not actually disgusted right now. It is just my is just my model tonight. It's just my camera. But I'm glad everyone's doing well despite what is happening. And a Breakos. Oh, we have nearly the whole crew here. Hey Breakos. And again, thank you Galaxy for the care package. And KG, I hope you're doing well. I know you're about to probably start the school year, so I wish you the best of luck, KG. I wish you the best of luck, and yay for the streaks from RX and whatever. We're going to get back into Dracula later on tonight. What demons are we summoning today? We are going back to... We start again with the student smile. I wish you the best of luck. And, I'd say you can ask me for help, but I don't know how. I don't know, I guess I can drop tactical airstrikes on the school building as a bat. Like, I don't know, what can I do? What can I do to help with I think yours is high school students. But tonight we are returning to Dracula and the world of, polyamory could have solved everything, as it always tends to do. There is no helping, only surviving. You can make educational videos so teachers can show them off in class. I actually have done a stream on the causes of the Satanic Panic, and I've done a stream on the cause and effects of the Satanic Panic, and also I've done a stream on queer coding, but I did not like the end result. So, the stream on queer coding does not exist because I plan on redoing it and making it an actual, fuller length thing for when I start my video essays. But I can't start my video essays until I get the new model. I'm going to be like a Viveros. I'm gonna be like Viveros. I'm gonna have my moving VTuber model. And have that be, like have him bouncing around in the corner. There's no helping, only surviving. So like, I have technically done educational content, it's just that, my content is like MTV educational, where it's like, there's too much curse words for it to be shown in front of a class. There's too much curse words, and me saying stuff like, the satanic panic was started by a woman who wanted her therapist's dick. I say too much of that shit, even though it's true. A girl wanted to be dicked down so badly, she started a moral panic. That's what editing is for. We'll bleep them out. I will man that wall with coffee. Everyone, sing KG your energies. They're gonna need it. But basically, to sum up the satanic panic, a woman wanted to be dicked down by her therapist so badly she started a moral panic. Yeah, Silver has to return to the educational pits as well. Lucia. Ah, that reminds me. Thank you for the head pats here. How is I want to say Magfest? No, wait, not Magfest. How is your con? How's your convention? I cannot remember the name of at this moment. And I will hit up Silver as soon as Magnet Fest. I leave for Magfest on Wednesday. Ah, okay. Don't worry. I will man down streams and maybe steal some of your audience. I mean that in the best way possible. I will take care of the kobolds while you're gone. That's on Blue Twitch. Magnum Fest. Oh, whoa. But I hope Magfest is going to treat you guys well. And hello, Tablet. I will get you right after I hit up Ryuga. Oh, after I hit up Silver and Ryuga. Oh, thanks. I promise I do not mean to steal anyone's stuff, anyone's fans. I want to share the love. We gotta share our audience. It's tough out here for a VTuber, you know. It's hard out here for bitches like us. You know, it's a lie. Sometimes a hoe is cold. Sometimes a working hoe is cold. But, oh, that reminds me. Speaking of working hoes, I am... Chef, you're gonna pet that's for ball. It's okay, I can remove it myself. Ain't no rest for the wicked, as they say it. Speaking of that, we are officially back to, Trials of Heart on this Wednesday, unless something happens. Which, knowing the crew, you know, knowing D&D, scheduling is the final boss. So, we might be something might happen, you know. I'm not sure if Sif is still in education. I think Sif is in education, but he works college, not high school levels. I know Aries tends to have sleeping issues, so something might happen. But I'm not too worried. I don't think anything's gonna happen until last minute at best. So Trials of Heart back on Wednesday. We will be continuing from where we have just entered the Royal City. So y'all get to continue with that. Let me shout out Silver and then I'll get Tapper. The fact that you somehow managed to gather a group of educators has baffled me. Technically, hold on, wait. Let me actually go through my educators. There is Silver, There is KG. There is Lexo. I think I have another. Educator somewhere. I think Lumi might be in education. Is Lumi in education? I do not remember Lumi's actual job. I know Lumi does BDSM stuff and like that, and it's always fun to listen to Lumi stories. Vesper's collecting us like in face. Yes, I will learn everything. I will learn everything. But listen, I'll be here for most of you guys. Like, listen, y'all can always come in whenever y'all want and relax at the end of a hard day's teaching. I will always be chaotic, even on my low energy days. I will always be unhinged. Because there weren't hinges in the first place. No hinges, no marbles, no barricades. Tomorrow was my first day of work for a year. Oh yeah. Let's see here, what else? There will not be stream on Friday. I have other D&D things to do on Friday. I'm not an educator unless you count giving medical advice, which is never listened to. Mood. Vesper's so unhinged, she's just a door frame. I'm not even a door frame. I'm like the rotting, like... I'm like not even the door frame. I'm like a foundation. The rotting foundation of a torn down house. I should poke Vikos once me and Ralph here sell after Magfest. Yeah, I was gonna poke Vikos, but then I was like, oh wait, Magfest. Yeah, I was about to poke the group chat, but then I was like, Magfest. Like, nobody talked during December, but, you know, December was Decembering. So I tried something Friday and did well in my TTRPG game. Ooh, please tell. But yeah, December was Decembering even for me, and I'm not normally a seasonal depression person, but shit just happened. So, like, I'm usually a summer depression girly. I get depressed when everyone's in their bikinis and stuff so that everyone else can go being happy. I take all that upon me. Listen, all the summertime sadness, that gets put upon me. I slope it all up so that everyone else can be happy and go on vacation. Get some sun in Texas. I'll be fine for a few days until the dark sets in again. Like, this sucks. I get to see you again. Don't worry, we're about, 2 months away from the spring solstice. I mean, the spring equinox. So we'll be back to normal daytime hours soon. And then we go on to having longer days and shorter nights. Start a new campaign in a system called Dreams and Machines. When it came to the time we do character intros after each person gave their intro. I gave a person on both sides a chance to add something biographically interesting about that character. Oh, get the entire party in on the character creation. Okay, that's cool. But yeah, we even out around the spring equinox, and then days get longer after. And then June, I think, is the summer solstice, and then we hit the maximum peak of day, and then night gets shorter and shorter until December. I mean, night gets longer and longer until fall equinox and stuff evens out again, and then winter solstice, longest night of the year. And you know what happens on those long nights. Blanky time. His spear-wielding guild carries a deep scar on his shoulder from a self-inflicted spear from her training. Ooh. The intrepid merchant went to bed until she was 13. Oh god. Sometimes the party inflicts chaos upon each other. Sometimes the party inflicts chaos upon each other and should not be trusted. But that does sound like a very interesting thing. I think, like, I want to say, I think Daggerheart has you make towns together at the beginning of the campaign. Like, everybody in the party gets to make their own, like little thing and, like, add on to other things. So, like, I think that could be, like, the future of, like, games in general. Where, like, everyone has a certain part in the world building and kind of a part of the DMing. I could imagine, like, future games being like, okay, now the entire party gets to be the DM in some way, you know? I think that's kind of like where, TTRPGs are headed in general. Besides, you know, just getting more variety and going back to, I don't want to say the Souls-like ways of previous stuff, but, like, I remember, watching a video on how this dude released a TTRPG and it's incredibly difficult. So, like, not a lot of his audience, like, immediately tapped into it because it was, like, more like D&D 4 4th edition. The big buff Samoan type baller dude has a smiley face tramp stamp tattoo. Oh, man. I need to set up whatever Chef has so I can, do all my shoutouts one after the other. But is everyone ready for Dracula? I started late because I was watching Firmth. Firmth is playing this amazing asset flip game called, oh, what is it called? Let me grab it, because I am so in love with whatever this is. Ah, yes. I'm going to die if I don't eat sushi. He is playing I'm going to die if I don't eat sushi. And it is so amazing. It's so full of soul despite being a Unity asset flip. It's so full of soul despite being a Unity asset flip. I'm going to lurk and try to get some writing done. No worries. I hope you can get some writing done. Please, I hope Dracula will inspire you. I think we're still on Mina Harker. I think we're on a Mina segment or a Dr. Seward segment. Oh, it doesn't look. Oh, it might be because I don't. No, wait, it should work. RX month. Oh my god, I got into the bad habit of some reason for calling my Mix It Up RX It Up. Oh my god. It's RX It Up to me now. I have actually looked up RX and I've been meaning to look up Mix. You guys, this is what you guys have done to me and I love it so much. Okay. I think it's probably mix it up. It might not be, because it's in a sentence, maybe. My work here is done. Okay, okay, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be Dracula-ing. Okay. Hold on. Let me get my book. There we go. Almost home. Yippee! Yippee! Alright, I don't know if I have said this yet, but I have 2 cents to make clear. 1, I love this community. 2, C.1. Thank you guys. Okay. We love you too, RX. It won't be the same without your daily greeting every time we come into stream. But okay. First off, mute this music. And now we have let me just go ahead and bring this out. YouTube. Thank you for the lurk as well, whatever. I know you're probably also writing as well, so. Oh, Dracula's courtyard, okay. Sorry, I got something in my throat. That wasn't great. Had a tickle in my throat. It wasn't a good tickle. It wasn't a tickle without consent. So going to finish watching this episode of Fallout. I watched the first episode, season 2. It's a 90-minute drive to see my best friend through the desert. Tell us if you see any cryptids. I need myself some chupacabra in my life. GODDAMNIT. Hold up. I remember hearing someone say that probably the main reason Dracula hasn't been adapted to a movie or TV series because all that faithful to the book is because Dracula as a concept only works as a book. With its gradual reveals and jumping storylines, yeah. Plus also there's a lot of we already know the point of Dracula. We know that Dracula's a vampire. So like I think a lot is kind of lost now that, you know. And I can't hear shit. Well, except the Leslie Nielsen version of Dracula. The main reason why I'm reading Dracula actually is because there is a visual novel coming out where I think you play as Renfield. Hold on, let me just grab actually the blue sky. Yeah, this is the... Yeah, this is... I am mostly reading this for this. So please go follow these people and prepare yourselves for Draculesti coming out in March of this year. Where we play as, who the hell are we playing as in this game? I want to say we're playing as Renfield, but yeah, we're playing as Renfield and survive the terror of Castle Dracula. Terror. uh, um, finger quotes. Terror. Like, oh no, I'm being attacked by Dracula. My neck is open. Oh no. Oh no, there's hot monsters. Oh no. Oh wait, do I have this muted? I have this muted. That might be a problem. That might be the problem. Vesper, the reason why you can't hear anything is because you muted the tab. Nothing more frightening than Adam's sad salad. I can think of a few things, one of them being the letter, but... Might we share overly sarcastic production of Dracula once you finish reading the book? Because it is funny. Not the piano! The piano and the rain. Where is... I DM'd myself which chapter I was on. Yeah, chapter 7. Silly. Okay, hold on. Okay. Chapter 7, Cutting from the Daily Graph. Hot monsters have found Vesper's channel. Oh, wait. Oh. I just saw that coffee coming. Hold on. I guess before I read. Hot monsters. Hot monsters. We may be hot monsters, but we are nothing compared to the raw, sexy power of Vesper. Aw, you guys are so sweet. I'm incredibly sexy. Normally. Right now I'm in bad form. The sex has turned into cuteness. But the sex will be coming back, I promise you. I will have all the sex in all the cities. I will also have all the gender. I will have sex in the cities and the gender. Sexy cuteness tainted. I will have it all. I want it all. I love that demo of National Anthem. Kawaii. Kawaii desu ka. Sugoi. But we'll get back onto the language lessons soon, I promise. Okay, but actually, I promised Dracula. My yarn broke. It's fine. I just had to reattach it. Oh no. Okay, let me stretch. The hot monsters were the friends we made along the way. Vesper lore, too hot for his own good, so an evil jealous ass hat named Dave took his human form away. Now he's on a quest to collect all genders, all monsters, and all teachers to rule the world. I want again. Man, that would make like a great Nintendo 64 PS1-esque 3D platformer. My collectathon is for the genders, the monsters, and the teachers. Okay. Now I kind of want to make that, you know? I'm already busy. I have to learn Godot first. Guys, let me learn the Godot before you start giving me game ideas. Okay, chapter 7. Cutting from the Daily Graph, 8th of August. Pasted in Mina Murray's journal. From a correspondent, Whitby. I am home. I will return to stream after Kinsella. No worries, no worries. One of the greatest and suddenest storms on record has been experienced here, with results both strange and unique. The weather has been somewhat sultry, but not to any degree uncommon in the month of August. Saturday evening was as fine as was ever known, and the great body of holiday makers laid out yesterday for visits to Mulgrave Woods, Robin's Hood Bay, Rig Mill, Runeswick, Staithes, and various ships in the neighborhood of Whitby. The steamers Emma and Scarborough made trips up and down the coast. There was an unusual amount of tripping, both to and from Whitby. The day was unusually fine till the afternoon, and some of the gossips who frequent the East Cliff churchyard, and from that commanding eminence watched the wide sweep of sea visible to the north and east, called attention to a sudden show of mare's tails high in the sky to the northwest. We cannot escape the Uma. The wind was then blowing from the southwest in the mild degree, which in barometrical language is ranked number 2, light breeze. The Coast Guard on duty at once made report, and one old fisherman, who for more than half a century has kept watch on weather signs from the East Cliff, foretold in an emphatic manner the coming of a sudden storm. The approach of sunset was so very beautiful, so grand its masses of splendidly colored clouds, that there was quite an assemblage on the walk along the cliff in the old churchyard to enjoy the beauty. Before the sun dipped below the black mass of the Kettleness, standing boldly athwart the western sky, its downward way was marked by myriad clouds of every sunset color: flame, purple, pink, green, violet, and all tints of gold. Here and there, masses not large, but of seemingly absolute blackness, in all sorts of shapes, as well outlined as colossal silhouettes. The experience was not lost on the painters, and doubtless some of the sketches of the prelude to the great storm will grace the RA and the RI walls in May. More than one captain made up his mind then and there that his cobble or his mule, as they term the different classes of boats, would remain in harbor till the storm had passed. The wind fell away during the evening, and at midnight there was a dead calm, a sultry heat, and that prevailing intensity which, on the approach of thunder, affects persons of a sensitive nature. There were but few lights in sight at sea, for even the coasting steamers which usually hug the shore so closely kept well to seaward, and but few fishing boats were in sight. The only sail noticeable was a foreign schooner with all sails set, which was seemingly going westwards. The foolhardiness or ignorance of her officers was a prolific theme for comment, while she remained in sight, and efforts were made to signal her to reduce sail in face of her danger. Before the night shut down, she was seen with sails idly flapping as she gently rolled on the undulating swell of the sea, as idle as a painted ship upon a painted ocean. Shortly before 10 o'clock, the stillness of the air grew quite oppressive. The silence was so marked that the bleating of sheep inland or barking of a dog in town was distinctly heard. The band on the pier with its lively French air was like a discord in the great harmony of nature's silence. Well after midnight came a strange sound from over the sea, and high overhead air began to carry a strange, faint, hollow booming. Then without warning the tempest broke, with a rapidity at which seemed incredible. Even afterwards it is impossible to realize. The whole aspect of nature once became convulsed, waves and growing fury, each overtopping its fellow, till in a very few minutes the lately glassy sea was like a roaring and devouring monster. White crested waves beat madly on the level sands and rushed up the shelving cliffs. Others broke over piers, and with their spume swept the lanthorns of the lighthouses, which rise from either end, which rise from the end of either pier of Whitby Harbor. The wind roared like thunder, and blew with it such force that it was with difficulty that even strong men kept their feet, or clung with grim clasp to the iron stanchions. It was found necessary to clear the entire piers from mass of onlookers, else the fatalities of the night would have been increased manifold. To add to the difficulties and dangers of the time, masses of sea fog came drifting inland, white, wet clouds which swept away in ghostly fashion. So dank and damp and cold, I needed but little effort of imagination to think that the spirits of those lost at sea were touching their living brethren with the clammy hands of death. And many a one shuddered as the wreaths of sea mist swept by. At times the mist cleared, and the sea for some distance could be seen in the glare of the lightning, which now came thick and fast, followed by sudden peals of thunder, that the whole sky overhead seemed trembling under the shock of the footsteps of the storm. Some of the scenes thus revealed were of immeasurable grandeur and absorbing interest. The sea, running mountains, high through sky. Hold on, let me repeat that. Ugh. It's really hard to try and keep steam while reading these more, weighty sentences. Some of the scenes thus revealed were of measurable grandeur and of absorbing interest. The sea, running mountains high, through skywards with each wave mighty masses of white foam, which the tempest seemed to snatch at and whirl away into space. Here and there a fishing boat, with a rag of sail, running madly for shelter before the blast. Now and again the white wings of a storm-tossed seabird. On the summit of the east cliff the new searchlight was ready for experiment, but had not yet been tried. The officers in charge of it got it into working order, and the pauses of inrushing mist swept with it the surface of the sea. Once or twice its service was most effective, as when a fishing boat, with gunwale under water, rushed into the harbor, able, by the guidance of the sheltering light, to avoid danger of dashing against piers. As each boat achieved the safety of the port, there was a shout of joy from the mass of people on shore, a shout for which a moment seemed to cleave the gale, and was swept away in its rush. Before long, the searchlight discovered some distance away a schooner with all sails set, apparently the same vessel which had been noticed earlier in the evening. The wind had by this time backed to the east, and there was a shudder amongst the watchers on the cliff as they realized the terrible danger in which she was. The wind had by this time backed to the east, and there was a shudder amongst the watchers on the cliff as they realized the terrible danger in which she now was. Between her and the port lay the great flat reef, which so many good ships have from time to time suffered, and with the wind blowing from its present quarter, it be quite impossible that she should fetch the entrance of the harbor. It is now nearly the hour of high tide, but the waves were so great that in their troughs the shallows of the shore were almost visible, and the schooner, with all sails set, was rushing with such speed that, in the words of one old salt, she must fetch up somewhere, if it was only in hell. Then came another rush of sea fog, greater than any hitherto, a mass of dank mist, which seemed to close on all things like a grey pall, and left available to men only the organ of hearing, for the roar of the tempest, and the crash of the thunder, and the booming of the mighty billows came through the damp oblivion even louder than before. The rays of the searchlight were kept fixed on the harbor mouth across the east pier, where the shock was expected, and men waited breathless. The wind suddenly shifted to the northeast, and the remnant of the sea fog melted in the blast, and then wrench. The wind suddenly shifted to the northeast, and the remnant of the sea fog melted in the blast, and then Mirabelle Dictou, between the piers, leaping from wave to wave as it rushed at headlong speed, swept the strange schooner before the blast, with all sails set, and gaining the safety of the harbor. The searchlight followed her, and a shudder ran through all who saw her. For lashed to the helm was a corpse, with a drooping head, from which swung horribly to and fro at each motion of the ship. No other form could be seen on the deck at all. A great awe came on all as they realized that the ship, as if by a miracle, had found the harbor, unsteered save by the hand of a dead man. However, all took place more quickly than it takes to write these words. The schooner paused not, but rushing across the harbor, pitched itself on an accumulation of sand and gravel, washed by many tides and many storms, into the southeast corner of the pier, jutting under the east cliff, known locally as Tate Hill Pier. There was, of course, a considerable amount of concussion as the vessel drove up on the sand heap. Every spar, rope, and stay was strained, and some of the top hammer came down. But strangest of all, the very instant the oars touched, an immense dog sprang up on deck from below as if shot up by the concussion, and running forward, jumped from the bow on the sand, making straight for the steep cliff where the churchyard hangs over the laneway to the east pier so steeply that some of the flat tombstones, thrusteins or throughstones as they call them in the Whitby vernacular, actually project over where the sustaining cliff has fallen away. It disappeared in darkness, which seemed intensified just beyond the focus of the searchlight. It so happened there was no one at the moment on Tate Hill Pier, as all those houses are in close proximity were either in bed or out on the heights above. Thus the Coast Guard on duty on the eastern side of the harbor, who at once went down to the little pier, was the first to climb on board. The man working the searchlight, after scouring the entrance to the harbor without seeing anything, then turned the light on the derelict and kept it there. The Coast Guard went aft, and when he came beside the wheel, bent over to examine it, and recoiled at once as though under some sudden emotion. It seemed to pique general curiosity. Quite a number of people began to run. It's a good way to round from the west cliff to the drawbridge to Tate Hill Pier, but your correspondent is a fairly good runner. He came well ahead of the crowd. When I arrived, however, I found already assembled on the pier a crowd whom the Coast Guard and police refused to allow to come on board. By the courtesy of the chief boatman, I was, as your correspondent, permitted to climb on deck. and was one of the small group who saw the dead seaman whilst actually lashed the wheel. I'm sorry, I'm just imagining this Victorian era, this Victorian era journalist going, like, raving his press pass as he's running through the storm, asking if he can get on the ship to look at the dead man. I have a press pass. I have a press pass. Let me see the dead man. Running around with the camera, the microphone. I want to ask you to reread the sentence, but Pete is pronounced Pete. My mouth tends to say things before I can thoroughly have a chance to, like, be like, oh, is this pronounced correctly? Is this correct pronunciation? I'm from the South. I was told and hooked on phonics. Do not expect me to pronounce anything correctly. My brother made fun of how I pronounced volume for the longest time. And speech therapy did not help me either, so... It was no wonder that the Coast Guard was surprised. Maybe English would quit fucking a blender. We would have a normal pronunciation. I'll mention if you say something different from Malbracos. It was no wonder that the Coast Guard was surprised, or even awed, for not often can such a sight be seen. The man was fastened by his hands, tied one over the other, to a spoke of the reel. Between the inner hand and the wood was a crucifix, the set of beads on which it was fastened. Being around both wrist and wheel, all kept fast by the binding cords. The poor fellow may have been seated at one time, but the flapping and buffeting of the sails had worked through the rudder of the reel and dragged him to and fro, so that the cords with which he was tied had cut the flesh to the bone. Accurate note was made of the state of things, and a doctor, Surgeon J.M. Caffin, of 33 East Elliott Place, who came immediately after me, declared, after making examination, the man must have been dead for quite 2 days. His pocket was a bottle, carefully corked, empty save for a little roll of paper, which proved to be the addendum to the log. The Coast Guard said the man must have tied up his own hands, fastening the knots with his teeth. The fact that our Coast Guard was the first on board may have saved some complications. Later on in the Admiralty Court for Coast Guards can't claim the salvage, which is the right of the first civilian entering on a dialect. However, the legal tongues are wagging, and one young law student is loudly asserting that the rights of the owner are already completely sacrificed. This part to be being in contravention of the statutes of Mort, Maine, since the tiller as emblem is not proof of delegated possession. Is held in a dead hand. It is needless to say that the dead steersman has been reverently removed from the place where he held his honorable watch and wore till death, a steadfastness as noble as that of the young Casabianca, and placed in the mortuary to await inquest. Already the sudden storm is passing, its fierceness is abating. The crowds are scattering homeward, and the sky is beginning to redden over the Yorkshire wolds. I shall send, in time for your next issue, further details of the derelict ship, which found her way so miraculously into the harbor in the storm. I nominate this comment to be to the top of the stream till it ends. You know what? Considering what I'm probably going to end up saying later. Yeah, you know what? I agree. But I think we're pretty sure the dead body was Jonathan. We all agree, right? I mean, like, Jonathan was holding his rosary. That rosary became pretty important to him. Oh no, way, if he just died. No way, if he died from the girls. No, 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 I might be making assumptions. I might be making assumptions. Cause this is back before when everything had to be connected. This is before we became complicated in literature. Maybe this was just a dude with a rosary. Because if I remember correctly, Jonathan was left to the girly pops. Jonathan was left to the girly pops of Dracula. There's someone who is watching right now who is like, it can't be that simple. We're probably going to learn, though. We're probably going to learn if this was Jonathan. Whitby. 9th of August. The sequel to the strange arrival of the derelict in the storm last night is almost more startling than the thing itself. Turns out the schooner is a Russian from Varna, and is called the Demeter. She's almost entirely in ballast of silver sand, with only a small amount of cargo, a number of great wooden boxes filled with mould. This cargo was consigned to a Whitby solicitor, Mr. S.F. Billington, of 7 The Crescent, who this morning went aboard and formally took possession of the goods consigned to him. The Russian consul, too, acting for the charter party, took formal possession of the ship and paid all harbor dues, etc. Nothing is talked about here today except this strange coincidence. The officials of the Board of Trade have been most exciting in seeing that every compliance has been made with existing regulations. As the matter is to be a 9 days' wonder, they are evidently determined that there shall be no cause of after-complaint. A good deal of interest was abroad concerning the dog which landed when the ship struck, and more than a good few members of the SPCA, which is very strong in Whitby, had tried to befriend the animal. To general disappointment, however, it was not to be found. It seems to have disappeared entirely from the town. It may be that it was frightened and made its way to the moors, where it is still hiding in terror. There are some who look with dread on such a possibility, lest later on it should in itself become a danger, for it is evidently a fierce brute. Early this morning, a large dog, a half-breed mastiff belonging to a coal merchant close to Tate Hill Pier, was found dead in the roadway opposite its master's yard. Had been fighting, and manifestly had a savage opponent, for its throat was torn away and its belly was slit open as if with a savage claw. I love how there is this dangerous dog-like beast, and we always have people going, I want to pet it. It literally shot up from the ship before it was properly moored. It shot up on the ship before it was properly moored in the middle of the storm. And it was like, yo, I'm God. And like, I'm just imagining this dog hopping parkour like Naruto-like on gravestones. I would see a wolf in the wild and get on one knee to pet it and only to be eaten to death. Same though. Okay, we can't blame English for Vesper getting stuck on dog. Yeah, it's Okay, dying by paying a cat dog, I shouldn't have. I'm also okay with it. Oh, it's a tiger. Oh no, I'm getting mauled to death. It's fine though. It's fine though, it's a cute tiger. Later. By the kindness of the Border Trade Inspector, I've been permitted to look over the logbook of the Demeter, which was in order up to within 3 days, containing nothing of special interest except as to the facts of missing men. The greatest interest, however, is with regard to the paper found in the ball, which was today produced at the inquest, and a more strange narrative than the two between them unfold. Hold on, wait. Which has today been produced at the inquest, and a more strange narrative than the two between them unfold. It has not been my lot to come across. As there is no motive for concealment, I am permitted to use them. Accordingly, send you a rescript, simply omitting technical details of seamanship and supercargo. It almost seems as though the captain had been seized with some kind of mania, for he got well into blue water. Now this had developed persistently through the voyage. Of course, my statement must be taken cum grano, since I am writing from the dictation of a clerk of the Russian council, who kindly translated for me, time being short. My dog doesn't like people to me equals, nah, you suck, watch this. Kid spit. Nah, you just have a skill issue. No, most people just have a skill issue. Watch this. Gets mauled. Log of the Demeter. Varna to Whitby. When 18th of July, things so strange happening, and I shall keep accurate note henceforth till we land. On 6th of July, we finished taking in cargo, silver, sand, and boxes of earth. At noon set sail, east wind, fresh. Crew, 5 hands, 2 mates, cook, and myself, captain. On 11th of July, at dawn, entered Bosphorus, boarded by Turkish custom officers, baksheesh, all correct, underway at 4 p.m. On 12th of July, through Dardanelles, more custom officers and a flagboat of guarding squadron, baksheesh again. Work of officers thorough, but quick, want us off soon. At dark passed into the archipelago. On July 13th, passed Cape Matapan. Crew dissatisfied about something, seemed scared, but would not speak out. On 14th of July, I was somewhat anxious about crew. Men all steady fellows who sailed with me before. They could not make out what was wrong. They only told him that there was something, and crossed themselves. May lost temper with one of them on that day and struck him. Expected fierce quarrel, but all was quiet. On July 16th, mate reported in the morning that one of the crew, Petrovsky, was missing. Could not account for it. Took a lot aboard with 8 bells last night. Was relieved by Abramov, but did not go to bunk. Men more downcast than ever. All said they expected something of the kind, but would not say more than there was something about. Making very impatient with them, feared some trouble ahead. On 17th of July, yesterday, one of the men, old Garin, came to my cabin, and in an awestruck way confided to me that he thought there was a strange man aboard the ship. He said that in his watch... I'll just use that. He said that in his watch he had been sheltering behind the deck house, as there was a rainstorm. He saw a tall, thin man, who was not like any of the crew, come up the companionway, and go along the deck forward and disappear. He followed cautiously. When we got to the bows, found no one, and the hatchways were all crossed. He was in a panic of superstitious fear, and I'm afraid of the panic may spread. To allay it, I shall today search the entire ship carefully from stem to stern. Later in the day, I got together the whole crew, told that, as they evidently thought there was someone in the ship, We would search from stem to stern. First mate angry, set us folly, and to yield to such foolish ideas would demoralize the men. He said he would engage to keep them out of trouble with a handspike. I let him take the helm, while the rest began a thorough search, all keeping abreast with lanterns. We left no corner unsearched, as there were only the big wooden boxes. There were no odd corners where a man could hide. Men much relieved when searched over, and went back to work cheerfully. First mate scowled, but said nothing. 22nd of July, rough weather the last 3 days. All hands busy with sails. No time to be frightened. Men seem to have forgotten their dread. Mate cheerful again, and all on good terms. Praise men for work in bad weather. Past Gibraltar and through the Straits, all is well. 24th of July, there seems to be some doom over the ship. There seems to be some doom over this ship. Sir, I believe you are doomed by the narrative. 24th of July, there seems to be some doom over this ship. Already a hand short in entering the Bay of Biscay with wild weather ahead. And yet last night another man lost, disappeared like the first. Came off his watch and was not seen again. Men all in a panic of fear sent a round robin, asking to have double watch, as they feared to be alone. Mate angry, fear there will be some trouble, as either he or the man will do some violence. There seems to be some doom over this shit. Scene 26. You're fucked. That's what we call foreshadowing. 28th of July. 4 days in hell. Ah yes, we have went from doom to hell. 28th of July. 4 days in hell. Knocking down a sort of maelstrom, and the wind a tempest. No sleep for anyone. Men all worn out. Probably know how to set a watch, since no one's fit to go on. Second mate volunteered to steer and watch, and let men snatch a few hours sleep. Wind abating, seas still terrific. But feel them less, as ship is steadier. 29th of July, another tragedy. Had single watch tonight, as crew too tired to double. And when morning watch came on deck, could find no one except steersman. Raised outcry and all came on deck. There was search, but no one found. Are now without second mate and crew in panic. May and I agreed to go armed henceforth and wait any sign of cause. 30th of July. Last night. Rejoiced we are nearing England. Weather fine, all sails set. Retired, worn out, slept soundly. Awaked by mate telling me that both man of watch and steersman are missing. Only self and mate and 2 hands left to work ship. Call that foreshadowing. 1st of August, 2 days of fog and not a sail sighted. Had hoped that when in the English Channel to be able to signal for help or get in somewhere. Not having power to work sails, had to run before wind. Dare not lower, as could not raise them again. We seem to be drifting to some terrible doom. Mate now more demoralized than either of men. His stronger nature seems to have worked inwardly against himself. Men are beyond fear, working sturdily and patiently. Minds made up to worse. They are Russians, he Romanian. 2nd of August, midnight. Woke up from a few minutes' sleep by hearing a cry, seemingly outside my port. Could see nothing in fog. Rushed on deck and ran against mate. Tells me he heard a cry and ran, but no sign of man on watch. One more gone, Lord help us. Mate says we must be past the Straits of Dover, and in a moment of fog lifting he saw the North Foreland. Just as he heard a man cry out, if we are now off in the North Sea, and only God can guide us in the fog, which seems to move against us, and God seems to have deserted us. Alright, we're going to take a small break there as I need water. I need water, plus we are about to come. I've delayed ads like twice. I'm sorry, I'm just checking. I finished my recording piece, had some dinner, now needing more hoes. Nice. I kind of want a snack. I'm hungry. I didn't eat much for lunch. I just had a snack for lunch. And then I had, and then the parent bats brought home McDonald's. So I'm mostly on empty calories right now. I'm still mostly working on tacos from, from breakfast. Like McDonald's fills me, don't get me wrong, but like most of that shit's empty calories at this point. I'll be right back. I will get my water. I'm gonna leave you guys to nice sounds and the art. Yeah, that was fan art of uh Alice Mayer, I think. Um, let me stretchies. Let me checkies my messages. I think I'm going to have... I think I might have tacos for breakfast tomorrow. Like, we have leftover taco meat, so I don't need to go... And plus, I made my breakfast tacos today. I went through the effort of actually slowly cooking my taco filling. I actually went through the effort of properly cooking my taco filling, which was bell peppers and onions and eggs. I normally cook everything, don't get me wrong, it's not like it's unhealthy, but I actually took the time instead of just, you know, kind of like lightly frying them. I actually took the time to sort of caramelize them. Although I had the heat on too high, so like my cut up bell peppers was a bit crispy. But tomorrow I had breakfast tacos. Yes, I I had breakfast tacos today. And tomorrow I'm thinking about having just regular tacos for breakfast. Cause I think would you like a good recipe for caramelized onions? Sure. I love myself some onions. Tacos all day, every day. There was actually one day where I had tacos for breakfast and tacos for lunch, and then I think I had dessert taco. I didn't have taco for dinner, though. Also, welcome in, Swolfen. How are you tonight? No, I didn't know such onion discussion was in Dracula. It's raining tacos. Hallelujah. It's raining tacos. Raining tacos. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna get absolutely soaking wet. It's raining tacos. Hey, headset mic died. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, you told me yesterday. I'm so sad. I got a $25 headset and been trying to get decent sound out of it. Oh man. Vespa on Spotify when? I'm going to work on my covers this year, actually. I'm going to work on my covers and my singing voice. Caramelized onions. Step 1. Chop up a bunch of onions, 2-3 pounds, so pre-cut, frozen cut onions working on a pitch. Toss them in a crock pot on low for 8 to 12 hours? Ooh. Ooh. Someday I'm gonna accidentally kill my headphones. I need to be more careful and put some headphones on my phone just in case. But I'm glad you're managing to fix your head I'm glad you got a headset and are managing to tweak it, Swolfie. I hope you're in I don't even know what I'm gonna eat in 8 to 12 hours. Breakfast tacos? Breakfast tacos are always a good idea. Breakfast tacos, breakfast tacos, breakfast tacos with eggs. Breakfast tacos, breakfast tacos, breakfast tacos with eggs. Breakfast tacos, breakfast tacos. I've also done breakfast tacos with... Breakfast tacos are like that. Are like what I like to call a fridge remover. Where, like, you can get rid of, like, any, like, leftover stuff you just have, like lying around the fridge, like leftover bell pepper, leftover onion, leftover mushrooms if you have any. Just toss all of that into your pan, and... just toss all of that into your pan, with some oil. You know... Ha. Have a recipe for that fridge clear. I call it spaghetti, whatever. Yeah, it's basically, yeah, it's basically for, like, whenever you just have, like, some vegetables you need to get out, man. Like, they're not bad, but you know they only have, like, 1 or 2 days left on them. So yeah, so some dessert tacos, shall stay. Oh man, some dessert tacos. Nah. Put it in my mouth. Anyways, we were reading Dracula, weren't we? Yeah. This isn't really like... This isn't like a let's read, this is like a book club. But I'm the only one reading the book. And then I get distracted. Does Dracula want a breakfast taco? I think Dracula wants a breakfast slushie. Just need to gossip. Just need gossip in an old lady book club. With me, we're already there, so yeah. As long as there's no garlic, he should be fine. Depends, I'm not sure if this was before Dracula or after Dracula, but, I think in, some vampire lore, whenever food enters a vampire's mouth, it turns to ash, or it tastes like ash. Which was lore I kind of ignored the one time I roleplayed a vampire, so, I only remember it now as a part of my shame. Okay, back to the book. But y'all feel free to keep on talking. Just because I'm reading the book does not mean y'all can't talk. Well, Scratch become a vampire off my bucket list now. Like I said, it depends. I think some lore, they do get to still have normal taste buds. 3rd of August. At midnight, I went to relieve the man at the wheel. When I got to it, I found no one there. The wind was steady, and we ran before it was still. The wind was steady, and as we ran before it, there was no yawning. I dare not believe it, so shouted for the mate. At a few seconds, he rushed up on deck in his flannels. He looked wild-eyed and haggard. I greatly fear his reason has given way. He came close to me and whispered hoarsely, with his mouth to my ear, and as though fearing the very air I might hear. It is here, I know it now. On the watch last night I saw it. Like a man, tall and thin and ghastly pale. It was in the bows and looking out. I crept behind it and gave it my knife, but the knife went through it empty as the air. As he spoke, he took the knife and drove it savagely into space. Then he went on. But it is here, and I'll find it. It is in the hold, perhaps in one of those boxes. Unscrew them one by one and see. You work the helm. With a warning look and his finger on his lip, he went below. There was springing up a choppy wind. I could not leave the helm. I saw him come out on deck again with a tool chest and lantern, go down the forward hatchway. He is mad, stark raving mad, and it's no use mine trying to stop him. You can't hurt those big boxes. They are invoiced as clay, and to pull them about is as harmless a thing he can do. So here I stay and mind the helm, and write these notes. I can only trust in God and wait till the fog clears. Then, if I can't steer the ship to any harbor with the wind that is, I shall cut down the sails and lie by and signal for help. I can't have a breakfast talk or I'm out samesies, though. It is nearly all over now. Just as I was beginning to hope that the mate would come out calmer, but I had him knocking away at something in the hold, and what was good for him. There came with the hatchway a sudden stalled scream, to me my blood ran cold. And up on the deck he came as if shot from a gun, a raging madman, his eyes welling and his face convulsed with fear. Save me! Save me! He cried, and then looked round on the blanket of fog. His horror turned to despair, and in a steady voice he said, You had better come too, Captain, before it's too late. He is there. I know the secret now. The sea will save me from him, and it is all that is left. Before I could say a word or move forward to seize him, he sprang on the bulwark and deliberately threw himself into the sea. I suppose I know the secret too now. There's this madman who had got rid of the men one by one. Now he has followed them himself. God help me. How am I to account for all these horrors when I get to port? When I get to port? Will that ever be? 4th of August. I guess he just went a bit overboard. But dumb shh. Oh my god, alright. he was a few planks Here's a few planks loose of a whole ship. You think you're so funny. Do the pungent, and you'd be right. Made me giggle. Still fog, which the sunrise cannot pierce. I know there is sunrise because I am a sailor. Why else would I not? I dare not go below. I dare not leave the helm. So here all night I stayed, and in the dimness of the night I saw him. God forgive me, but it was right to jump overboard. It's better to die like a man. Die like a sailor in blue water no man can eject. But I am captain, I must not leave my ship. But I shall baffle this fiend or monster. But I shall tie my hands to the wheel when my strength begins to fail. Along with him I shall tie that which it dare not touch. Then, come good wind or foul, I shall save my soul and my honor as a captain. I am growing weaker, and the night is coming on. If he can look me in the face again, I may not have time to act. If we are wrecked, mayhap this ball may be found. Those who find it may understand. If not, then, well, then all men shall know I have been true to my trust. God and the Blessed Virgin Mary and the saints help a poor, ignorant soul trying to do his duty. Of course, the verdict was an open one. There's no evidence to adduce, and whether or not this man himself committed the murders, there's now none to say. The folk here already hold universally that the captain is simply a hero, and he is to be given a public funeral. Already it is arranged that his body is to be taken on a train of boats out to the Esk for a peace, and then brought back to Tate Hill Pier and up to Abbey States, where he is to be buried in the churchyard on the cliff. The owners of more than 100 boats have already given in their names as wishing to follow him to the grave. No trace has ever been found of a great dog, at which there is much mourning, for, with public opinion in its present state, he would, I believe, be adopted by the town. Tomorrow we'll see the funeral, and so we'll end this one more mystery of the sea. Captain's got nerves of steel, right? He was literally like, I'm going down with my ship. Doesn't matter that there's a vampire here. Doesn't matter that there's a fucking awful creature of demented proportions here. Has killed all my crew. They sacrificed themselves. I am also doing it. I need to go down with this ship. Mina Murray's journal. 8th of August. Lucy was very restless all night, and I too could not sleep. The storm was fearful, and as it boomed loudly among the chimney pots, it made me shudder. And a shot puff came, it seemed like a distant gun. Strangely enough, Lucy did not wake, but she got up twice and dressed herself. Fortunately, each time I woke in time, I managed to undress her without waking her, and got her back to bed. It's a very strange thing, this sleepwalking. For as soon as her will is thwarted in any physical way, her attention, if there be any, disappears, and she yields herself almost exactly to the routine of her life. He won't put up his hands and surrender. Hands up. He may kill me, but I shall bring this ship to port. There's only one explanation. The Dracula played the letter. The captain played the letter. By comparison, Dracula looks like amateur hour. There's only one horror on this earth, and it's that fucking visual novel. Even worse. Early in the morning, we both got up and went down to the harbor to see if anything had happened in the night. There were very few people about. Though the sun was bright and the air clear and fresh, the big, grim-looking waves that seemed dark themselves because the foam topped them like snow, forced themselves in through the narrow mouth of the harbor, like a bullying man going through a crowd. Somehow I feel glad that Jonathan was not on the sea last night, but on land. But oh, is he on land or sea? Where is he and how? I'm getting fearfully anxious about him. If only I knew what to do and could do anything. He even played on Wii U. Oh man. Not the Wii U! 10th of August. The funeral of the poor sea captain today was most touching. Every boat in the harbor seemed to be there. The coffin was carried by captains all the way from Tate Hill Pier to the churchyard. Lucy came with me, and we went early to our old seat, while the cortege of boats went up the river to the viaduct, came down again. We had a lovely view, and saw the procession kneeling all the way. Poor fellow was laid to rest near our seat, so that we stood on it when the time came and saw everything. Poor Lucy seemed much upset. She was restless and uneasy all the time. I cannot think but that her dreaming at night is telling on her. She is quite odd in one thing. She'll not admit to me there is any cause for restlessness, or if there be. She does not understand it herself. There's an additional cause that poor old Mr. Swells was found dead this morning on our seat, his neck being broken. He had evidently, as the doctor said, fallen back in the seat in some sort of fright, for there was a look of fear and horror on his face that the man said made them shudder. Poor old man, perhaps he had seen death with his dying eyes. Lucy is so sweet and sensitive that she feels influences more acutely than other people. Just now she was quite upset by a little thing, which I did not much heed, though I am myself very fond of animals. One of the men who came up here so often to look for boats was followed by his dog. The dog is always with him. They are both quiet persons, and I never saw the man angry, nor heard the dog bark. During this service the dog would not come to its master, who was on the seat with us, but kept a few yards off, barking and howling. Its master spoke to it gently, then harshly, then angrily, but would neither come nor cease to make a noise. It is in a sort of fury, with its eyes savage and its hairs bristling out like a cat's tail. Isn't it a sort of fury, with its eyes savage and its hairs all bristling out like a cat's tail when Puss is on the warpath? Finally, the man, too, got angry, and jumped down and kicked the dog, then took it by its scruff of the neck and half dragged it and half threw it on the tombstone on which the seat is fixed. The moment it touched the stone, the poor thing became quiet and fell all into a tremble. It did not try to get away, but crouched down, quivering and cowling, and was in such a pitiable state of terror that I tried, though without effect, to comfort it. Lucy was full of pity too, but she did not attempt to touch the dog, but looked at it in an agonized sort of way. I greatly fear that she too is of too supersensitive a nature to go through the world without trouble. She'll be dreaming of this tonight, I'm sure. The whole agglomeration of things. The ship steered into port by a dead man. His attitude, tied to the wheel with a crucifix and beads. The touching funeral of the dog, now furious and now in terror, will all afford material for her dreams. I think it'll be best for her to go to bed tired out physically, so I shall take her for a long walk by the cliffs to Robin's Hood Bay and back. She ought not to have much inclination for sleepwalking then. Dramatic readings can really come across as story time, but nobody's taking it seriously. This is just D&D in a nutshell. I'm stretching. Okay, so we have confirmation that the man on the ship is not Jonathan. However, we do got confirmation that it was Dracula on the ship. And Dracula probably did not plan for this. That's his brother, uncle's parents, neighbors. We just read about the captain of the ship tying himself to the wheel. That even dying, he'd be able to bring it to port, and we're making jokes. I mean, like, yeah. But that's the point of reading with friends, is to, like, make it a little easier to read, because, like, I don't think I could have read that part about the dog for y'all if y'all hadn't been here. Let's see here. Let me see how long this is. Oh, long chapter. Long chapter. Okay. If we haven't been wisecracking. But, okay, so I have the feeling, I think this is in vampire lore, where vampires can, like, affect a certain, like, vicinity around them. Not to mention, animals already act weird around vampires, I'm pretty sure. That's, like, number one indicator that shit's going down is that the animals are, like, acting weird. It's like, oh, the animals are acting weird. Get the fuck out. Nature is your first sign that something unnatural is happening. Nature is your first sign of something unnatural is happening. Oh, the birds are quiet. The energy feels off. The atmosphere is choking you. Get out. Or if it's the reverse. Maybe we shouldn't have pissed off Mother Nature. Some of the animals get real lovely. Also get out. I don't trust that. I don't trust like that. We're humans. Animals are not supposed to be lovey with us. I don't trust like that. That's freaky in its own way. I don't trust like that. Love apocalypse is also a thing. I don't trust like that. The book won't be as good as the characters are. I can't believe Mother Nature's upset with me, though. Imagine Dracula. Imagine, like, a vampire who's, like, old as earth, and he's like, yeah, Mother Nature's upset with me again. I did something. We had a bad breakup. I smashed Mother Nature's, like, great-great-great-granddaughter, and now, we're not on speaking terms. But that's not my fault. I can't believe you're making this a ship. Well, the previous ship just crashed, so I have to make a new one. Oh my god, this ship was literally named the Demeter. Dracula was literally on board the Demeter. Dracula was riding a Demeter. Oh, whoa. Although Mother Earth would be more Gaia. Oh wait, that's who Dracula broke up with Gaia to get with Demeter. Dracula broke up with Gaia to get with Demeter, guys. Guys, I cannot believe that Dracula broke it off with Demeter. Have you seen E! News? They are saying that Dracula broke it off with Demeter. Oh, wait. Dracula broke it off with Demeter, and now he's trying to get with Aphrodite. And it's causing a whole issue. Long chapter, guys. Dracula and Mother Nature, they were roommates. Were they roommates or were they tomb mates? Maybe they were tomb mates. Wait. Wait, hold on, wait. What if this is why, Dracula has to, what if this is like why vampires have to bring their soil with them? What if this is why vampires have to take their soil with them? Cause Gaia was like, fuck you, Dracula, and fuck everyone related to you. You have to bring soil with you everywhere now. Wait, 25 subs? Oh my god. Whoa, thank you, Rampy. Thank you, Rampy. I do not deserve that for two mates. I do not deserve that for two mates. Maybe for headcananing that. Maybe for headcananing that Gaia and Dracula had a relationship, and now that's why, now that because of their bad breakup, Dracula has to take soil everywhere. I kind of like that. And thank you so much for the 25 gift subs. Oh my god. And you hit knives. You hit, I think you hit Kaylin. I saw Kaylin in there. But thank you so much, Vampy. Listen, Vampy. When your next game comes out, I'm gonna be on that shit. I'm gonna be on that shit. I'm gonna be on that shit like I'm on breakfast tacos. 102, baby, that's what it's all about. Also, thank you for the clips, whatever. I only get through 2 chapters every Sunday because this happens. Thank you so much, Rampy. Oh, you guys are too kind to me. Also, Vampy, you're making sure I have to pay taxes this year and next. Cheers, have some stuff. Oh my god, both of you! Too kind! Too kind, both of you! I will repay this back. I might need low-key a game tester for this recent project, so I might take you up on that. I can game test. I can game test. Hell, like, I could get into the Discord and give you a live feed if you want. Obscure vampire lore. Placing a wild rose on a vampire's coffin prevents the vampire from being able to leave it when the sun goes down. See? Gaia just hates her ex. Gaia just hates her ex. Or someone who sues a vampire ASMR thumbnail guy with a rose tattoo. Maybe decide that if a vampire gets a tattoo of a rose, it can help suppress their powers. Ooh. Let me make that tax burden worse for you. I will take my tax burdens, thank you. I will take them with pride. I shall take my tax burdens with pride. But also, thank you guys so much. I promise. Wait. More. Thank you. We have hit Askada-sa. Nice. Thank you guys so much. Listen, all this is going towards my my model rigging and whatever is left after that, because Because I'm going to give a beginner rigger a chance, a beginner rig artist a chance. Even though I have some much more polished people in mind, but I figure, you know, be cautious, yeah. Making this tax money from Vesper, let me introduce you to the Midnight Teachers Union. However, I've already given. I'll say where has a point. Yeah. The main thing is that I've already given my model to someone who has done nothing for 6 months. The Midnight Teachers Union. Oh wait, this is kind of. Oh wait, this is a T emote. This is a T emote. We got stirring the pot. We got a drama emote. I was thinking about getting Snur to make modifications to this model. However, I don't know if Snur does normal body rigging. I mean, I could go to Snur. Maybe. But, monologue, man, we have not started the next chapter, but I might as well say it. Monologue posted, yeah, Monologue, we posted his friend's rigging. So I'm like, huh. And plus, like, I don't want to be like, I don't mind cheaper work if it lets me spend my money on other things. But I don't mind cheaper work if it lets me, like, save my money for other things. This bat is on a budget. Wait. Don't take that as a challenge, y'all. Don't take that as a challenge. Please. Put down the credit card and your 3 funny little numbers. But I might look around because, like, y'all have given me a lot, so I might be able to, like, go a little harder. But, like, I'll see. Like, I'm not, I'm not, like, decided on anything yet. So I could go with Snur. I could go with, this person, Lexo sent me. There's also Irisu. Irisu who rigged, my Hollow Knight model after Kaylin did, and is Kaylin's constant rigging companion. So, like, I trust Irisu because, like, that's automatically, like, she's, like, automatically endorsed by Kaylin. Listen. No, I can't trust Vegan Discord anymore. Vegan Discord is why I'm in the current situation I am. Vegan Discord is why I haven't had a mall for 6 fucking months. That's how we got here. Record scratch. Music stop. You're probably wondering how I got here. I'm not saying that everyone in VGen Discord is bad. I'm just saying that's how I got here, particularly. I'm just saying that's how I got here. And look at me now. Unfortunately, I have you guys here. Who are very patient and can wait for me. And I promise you, I'm going to be so beautiful, so sexy. Y'all will not be able to handle it. Not everyone is bad. I just can't find anyone good. Listen, my rigging was supposed to be for free, which in exchange for being a free portfolio thing. My rigging was supposed to be done for free in exchange for being a part of someone's portfolio, which I would have allowed even if I was paying for it, you know? But like now I have sent an email. I have sent an email. This is where we're at. I have sent an email of all things to their business account. And they have not spoken to me. I know they're online. I can see them in my group chat on Discord. I know they're alive. I know they're there. It's like, girl, you can't ignore me forever. Vesper got posted. Me and Kaylin have both gotten ghosts because the group DM had me and Kaylin because Kaylin's the artist. So it's very much like I'm going to throw up. I'm going to write the Google document. I'm going to write the Google document of how I've been ghosted for 6 months. I didn't want to write a Google document, but I guess I finally hit that point of being a VTuber where I have written my mandatory Google document. I'm now officially a VTuber. I have plans to write a Google document. It's okay, once you glow up and become publicly hot, they'll get back to you. Right? I'm going to get the finished model, I'm going to get the finished rigging from some other person, and that's when I get their rigging. And I get to be like... you took too damn long. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go into all that. Okay, chapter 8. I used to glow up. Chapter 8, Mina Moray's journal. Sunday, 11 o'clock p.m. Oh, but I am tired. If it were not that I had made my diary a duty, I should not open it tonight. We had a lovely walk. Lucy, after a while, was in gay spirits, owing, I think, to some dear cows who came nosing towards us in a field close to the lighthouse, and frightened the Ritz out of us. I believe we forgot everything except, of course, personal fear. It seemed to wipe the slate clean and give us a fresh start. We had a capital severe tea at Robin Hood's Bay in a sweet little old-fashioned inn with a bow window right over the seaweed-covered rocks of the Strand. I believe we should have shocked the new woman with our appetites. Men are more tolerant, bless them. Then we walked home with some, or rather many, stoppages to rest, with our hearts full of a constant dread of wild bulls. Lucy was really tired. We intended to creep off to bed as soon as we could. The young curate came in, however, and Mrs. Westerner asked him to stay for supper. Lucy and I had both had a fight for it with the dusty miller. I knew it was a hard fight on my part, and I am quite heroic. I think that some day the bishops must get together and see about breeding up a new class of curates who don't take supper, no matter how they may be pressed to, and who will know when the girls are tired. Lucy is asleep and breathing softly. She has more color in her cheeks than usual and looks oh so sweet. If Mr. Homewood fell in love with her seeing her only in the drawing room, no, he would say if he saw her now. Some of the new women writers will someday start an idea that men and women should be allowed to see each other sleep before proposing or accepting. I suppose the new women won't condescend in the future to accept. She'll do the proposing herself. And a nice job she will make of it, too. There's some consolation in that. I am so happy tonight because dear Lucy seems better. I really believe she has turned the corner, and that we are over the troubles with dreaming. I should be quite happy if I only knew Jonathan. God bless and keep him. My favorite chapter, the Dracula fights a random guy for not getting his virtual anime together. Virtual anime together and gets scammed hard. Chat, was Frankenstein a VTuber? I don't know why I felt like Frankenstein had VTuber parallels. I think Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde would be more of a VTuber parallel. "11th of August, 3 a.m. Diary again. No sleep now, so I may as well write. I'm too agitated to sleep. We both had such an adventure, such an agonizing experience. I fell asleep as soon as I closed my diary. Suddenly, I became broad awake and sat up with a horrible sense of fear upon me, some feeling of emptiness around me. The room was dark, so I could not see Lucy's bed. I stole across and felt for her. The bed was empty. I lit a match and found that she was not in the room. The door was shut but not locked, as I had left it. I feared to wake her mother, who has been more than usually ill lately, so threw on some clothes and got ready to look for her. As I was leaving the room, it struck me that the clothes she wore might give me some clue to her dreaming intention. Dressing gown would mean house. Dressing gown would mean house. Dress outside. Dressing gown and dress were both in their places. Thank God, I said to myself. She cannot be far, as she is only in her nightdress. Frankenstein is just a steampunk VTuber model. Can we get some wooden stakes and chats? This tragic moment. Dracula looks at magical necklace. Chat, is this real? Chat, is this... Chat, is this authentic? Dracula does an unboxing. It's just himself. Dracula does an unboxing, and it's just him coming out of his coffin after an entire stream of just sleeping. If Mary Shelley wrote a novel about a musical instrument cobbled together from harpsichords and piano, it'd be Frankenstein. I love it here. I ran downstairs and looked in the sitting room. Not there. Then I looked in all the other open rooms of the house with an ever-growing fear chilling my heart. Finally, I came to the hall door and found it open. It is not wide open, but the catch of the lock had not caught. People of the house are careful to lock the door every night, so I feared Lucy must have gone out as she was. There's no time to think of what might happen. A vague, overmastering fear obscured all details. Took on a big, heavy shawl and ran out. The clock was striking 1 as I was in the crescent. There was not a soul in sight. I ran along the north terrace, see no sign of the white fear which I expected. At the edge of the west cliff above the pier, I looked across the harbor to the east cliff, in hope or fear, I don't know which, as seeing Lucy in our favorite seat. There was a bright full moon with heavy black driving clouds, threw the whole scene into a fleeting diorama of light and shade as they sailed across. For a moment or two I could see nothing as the shadows of a cloud obscured St. Mary's Church all around it. Then as the cloud passed, I could see the ruins of the abbey coming into view, and as the edge of a narrow band of light, as sharp as a sword cut, moved along, the church and the churchyard gradually became visible. Whatever my expectation was, it was not disappointed. For there, on our favorite seat, the silver light of the moon struck a half-reclining figure, snowy white. The coming of the cloud was too quick for me to see much, for the shadow shut down on light almost immediately. It seemed to me as though something dark stood behind the seat where the white figure shone, and bent over it. What it was, whether man or beast, I could not tell. I could not wait to catch another glance. I flew down the steep steps to the pier, and along the fish market to the bridge, which is the only way to reach the east cliff. The town seemed as dead, for not a soul did I see. I rejoiced that it was so, for I wanted no witness of poor Lucy's condition. Time and distance seemed endless, and my knees trembled and my breath came labored, as I toiled up the endless steps to the abbey. I must have gone fast, and yet it seemed to me as if my feet were weighted with lead, as though every joint of my body were rusty. When I got almost to the top, see the seat and the white figure, for I was now close enough to distinguish even through the spells of shadow. There was undoubtedly something long and black bending over the half-reclining white figure. I called in fright, "Lucy! Lucy!" And something raised a head, and from where I could see a white face and red gleaming eyes. Lucy did not answer, and I ran to the entrance of the churchyard. As I entered, the church was between me and the seat, and for a moment or so I lost sight of her. When I came in view again, the cloud had passed, and the moonlight struck so brilliantly that I could see Lucy half reclining with her head lying over the back of the seat. She was quite alone, and there was not a sign of any living thing about. Hickory dickory dock, 3 mice ran up the clock, and the clock struck 1, and the other 2 escaped with minor injuries. And then her mother scolded them for going near a hickory clock. Only one of them had to go to the hospital. I'm supposed to be having ads soon, so I'm not like immediately going into the next paragraph. Okay, we're about like a third in, maybe. I hope everyone's enjoying Dracula. I hope everyone's going to remember some of the serious parts of Dracula and not me going, well, what if Gaia and Dracula? I'm gonna be 100. I haven't chortled this much in a minute. I'm very happy. I'm very happy everyone's enjoying themselves. Okay, I don't know when ads are coming up, so I guess I'll just continue reading until I get ads, and then I will stop. I'll just bookmark. I'll just highlight where I stop. I've been over her. I could see that she was Don't you know that this one specifically made me belly laugh? When I went over, I could see that she. And also, thank you for the fantasy zone, Dapper. When I bent over her, I could see that she was still breathing. Her lips were parted, and she was breathing, not as softly as usual with her, but in long, heavy gasps, as though striving to get her lungs full at every breath. As I came close, she put up her hand in her sleep, pulled the collar of her nightdress close to her throat. While she did so, there came a light shudder through her, as though she felt cold. I flung the warm shawl over her, and drew the edges tight around her neck. For I dreaded lest she could get some deadly chill from the night air, unclad as she was. I feared to wake her all at once, so in order to have my hands free that I might help her, fastened the shawl at her throat with a big safety pin. But I must have been clumsy in my anxiety and pinched or pricked her with it. For by and by, when her breathing became quieter, she put her hand to her throat again and moaned. When I had her carefully wrapped up, I put my shoes on her feet and began very gently to wake her. First she did not respond, but gradually she became more and more uneasy in her sleep, moaning and sighing occasionally. At last, as time was passing fast, and for many other reasons, I wished to get home at once, I shook her more forcibly, till finally she opened her eyes and awoke. She did not seem surprised to see me, as, of course, she did not realize at all where she was. Lucy always wakes prettily, even at such a time when her body must have been chilled with cold, her mind somewhat appalled at waking unclad in the churchyard at night. She did not lose her grace. She trembled a little and clung to me. I told her to come at once with me to the. When I told her to come at once with me home, she rose without a word, with the obedience of a child. As we passed along, the gravel hurt my feet, and Lucy noticed me wince. She stopped and wanted to insist upon my taking of my shoes. But I would not, however. When we got to the pathway outside the churchyard, where there was a puddle of water remaining from the storm, I dabbed my feet with mud, using each foot in turn on the other, so as we went home, no one, in case we should meet anyone, would notice my bare feet. Fortune favored us, and when we got home, without meeting a soul. Once we saw a man who seemed not quite sober passing along the street in front of us, but we hid in a door till he disappeared up an opening, such as there are here. Steep little crosses, or wines, as they call them in Scotland. My heart beat so loud all the time that sometimes I thought I should faint. I was filled with anxiety about Lucy, not only for her health, lest she should suffer from the exposure, but for her reputation in case the story should get wind. When we got in and had washed our feet and had said a prayer of thankfulness together, I tucked her into bed. Before falling asleep, she asked, even implored me not to say a word to anyone, even her mother, about her sleepwalking adventure. I hesitated at first to promise, but on thinking on the state of her mother's health, how the knowledge of such a thing would fret her, and thinking, too, how such a story might become distorted, nay, infallibly would, in case it should leak out, I thought it wiser to do so. I hope I did right. I locked the door and the key is tied to my wrist, so perhaps I shall not again be disturbed. Lucy sleeping soundly, the reflex of the dawn is high and far over the sea. It was an old joke from Boy Scouts, but I'm glad. Same day, noon. All goes well. Lucy slept till I woke her and seemed not to have even changed her side. The adventure of the night does not seem to have harmed her. On the contrary, it has benefited her, for she looks better this morning than she has done for weeks. I was sorry to notice that my clumsiness with a safety pin hurt her. Indeed, it might have been serious, for the skin of her throat was pierced. I must have pricked up a piece of loose skin and have transfixed it. For there are two little red points like pinpricks. On the band of her nightdress there was a drop of blood. I apologized and was concerned about it. She laughed and petted me, said she did not even feel it. Fortunately, it cannot leave a scar, as it is so tiny. Here are the ads. Sued. And Lucy has unfortunately been bitten. Lucy has been Draculaized. Dracula's like, I'm gonna have a little drink. Dracula's like, I need my hydration. Chat redeemed Dracula. Chat redeemed Dracula's hydrate feature. Okay, I need to pee. But I want to propose an idea to everyone. Pinocchio. But he's a VTuber. And thank you for the hydrate. Pinocchio, but as a VTuber. He wants to be a real boy, but he's just a VTuber model. But anyways, I'm going to go pee. I'm back. Sorry it took so long. Sorry that took so long. I also already know who we're... We have like 3 main choices for raid. We have 3 main choices for raid. Normally I would not raid, since we're, chill. Oh, don't worry, I'm not, yeah, we just started. Don't worry, we're still going to read the rest of this chapter. But, after the chapter is over, I have a pretty good idea. So don't worry, we still have the rest of this chapter. Is everyone ready? We got everyone ready for the last leg of this chapter? I saw kissing on. Oh, you mean this? Hold on. Yeah, that's from Child of Hearts. That's my. I myself am rather drained and not of blood by a vampire. I want to go to sleep. Good night, RX. I hope you enjoyed Dracula tonight, and Dracula being your good night bed story. Let me go ahead and just grab that for you. Vampy got turned on by agent name. Let me just grab that for you, Vampy. This was done by my... Is this in my fan art? Yeah, this is in fan art. This was done by my DM in Trial of Hearts. So I have the Centaur. Well, the Servitor. He's a Servitor. He's a deer boy. He's a deer man. And that is, the very skunglow, twink half-orc Damus that Oleander is kissing. Is that digital or is that all pin art? It's all pin. It's all pin. Listen, I would calm Maris all day. But Maris doesn't do comms, so... And we actually have this one from where they were cuddling in the session before this one. Before the last one. That's like Rick Dale says crazy pinwork traditional, yeah. So like this one's more just pencil lines. I mean, yeah, you also made a fan art of the kiss, Silver. Showing her isn't real. It is quite real. Pixar didn't happen in 2026, damn. Pixar didn't happen in my 2026? In the year of our Satan 2026? In the year of our Satan 2026? But yeah, this is from Child of Hearts, and the main reason why I have some kissy art is because it is... Well, it's supposed to be a romantasy, but unfortunately me and 2 other players turned it into a political intrigue. We might have gone away with just romantasy, but then I decided to exist. Weirdly, I'm the first one to have kissed anyone in the damn campaign, so... I was the first one to kiss anyone, so, I was the first to fulfill the romantasy. Weirdly enough, despite having the most political intrigue character. It's like I was the one who made this plot. I'm not sure if Maris intended for there to be like a political intrigue plot, but you know, I don't think we gave her much. I don't think we gave him much choice. Oh, oh my God, that was an accidental misstep. My bad. Sometimes it happens. I'm probably thinking of Valentine, Maris's character in Comet Tales. Sometimes it happens. It's not a big deal. My brain just is immediately like, stone yourself. Rocket's being chaos again. Oh, what is happening? Please inform me while I actually try to manage to read Dracula. Same day, night. We passed a happy day. The air was clear and the sun bright. There was a cool breeze. We took our lunch to Mulgrave Woods. Mrs. Westerno was driving by the road, and Lucy and I walking by the cliff path and joining her at the gate. I felt a little sad myself, but I could not feel how absolutely happy it had been had Jonathan been with me. But there, I must only be patient. At evening we strolled in the casino terrace, heard some good music by Spoher and Mackenzie, and went to bed early. Lucy seems more restful than she has been for some time. Fell asleep at once. I shall lock the door and secure the key, same as before, though I do not expect any trouble tonight. She's pushing the shelf box tower built across the room. Ooh, already New Year's Eve moving. For context, this tower is almost as tall as she is. I'm concerned for her safety. Ah. Well, hopefully it's not as heavy as, like, a human being. But if it's tall, ooh. Yeah. I'm sure she must know what she's doing. I'll be RB. I'm going to make sure she doesn't kill herself. Stay safe, both of you. I demand it. My expectations were 12th of August. Thank you for running the Digital Gardens Festival. No worries. 12th of August, my expectations were wrong, for twice during the night I was wakened by Lucy trying to get out. She seemed, even in her sleep, to be a little impatient finding the door shut. Went back to bed under a sort of protest. I woke with the dawn, heard the birds chirping outside the window. Lucy woke too, and I was glad to see, was even better than on the previous morning. All her old gaiety of manner seemed to have come back, and she came and snuggled in beside me, told me all about Arthur. I told her how anxious I was about Jonathan. She tried to comfort me. Well, she succeeds somewhat, for though sympathy can't alter facts, it can help make them more bearable. But you can always ask me to water the plants. 13th of August. Another quiet day, and to bed with the key on my wrist as before. Again, I woke in the night, and found Lucy sitting up in bed, still asleep, pointing to the window. I got up quietly, and pulling aside the blind, looked out. It was brilliant moonlight, and the soft effect of the light of the sea and sky merged together in one great silent mystery. It was beautiful beyond words. Between me and the moonlight flitted a great bat, coming and going in great whirling circles. Once or twice it came quite close. I was, I suppose, frightened at seeing me, flew away across the harbor towards the Abbey. I came back from the window. Lucy had lain down again, and was sleeping peacefully. She did not stir again all night. A great bat? Huh. Wonder who could that be? Wink. 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 Oh, alright, my webcam does not capture winking all that well. Wonk. A great bat. Couldn't have been me. The Agog decides she wants the shelf box tower against the wall on her side of the room. Ah. Everyone's fine. 14th of August. On the East Cliff, reading and writing all day. Lucy seems to have become as much in love with the spot as I am. It's hard to get her away from it when it's time to come home. For lunch or tea or dinner. This afternoon she made a funny remark. We were coming home for dinner and had come to the top of the steps up from the west pier and stopped to look at the view, as we generally do. Setting sun, low down in the sky, was just dropping behind the Kettleness. The red light was thrown over on the East Cliff and the old abbey. It seemed to bathe everything in a beautiful rosy glow. We sat silent. We were silent for a while. Suddenly Lucy murmured as if to herself, "His red eyes again." Oh, hold on. That was not Lucy. That was something from my past coming up. that was an old reincarnation. His red eyes again. They are just the same. It's such an odd expression, coming apropos of nothing. That had quite startled me. I saluted round a little, so as to see Lucy without seeming to stare at her. Saw that she was in a half-dreamy state, with an odd look on her face that I could not quite make out. So I said nothing, but followed her eyes. She appeared to be looking over at our own seat, whereon a dark figure seated alone. I was a little stalled myself, for it seemed for an instant as if the stranger had great eyes like burning flames. That second look dispelled the illusion. The red sunlight was shining on the windows of St. Mary's Church behind our seat. As the sun dipped, there was just a sufficient change in the refraction and reflection to make it appear as if the light moved. I called Lucy's attention to the peculiar effect. She became herself with a start, but she looked sad all the same. Might have been that she was thinking of that terrible night up there. We never referred to it, so I said nothing. And we went home to dinner. Lucy had a headache and I went early to bed. I saw her asleep and went out for a little stroll myself. I walked along the cliffs westward and was full of sweet sadness, for I was thinking of Jonathan. When coming home, it was a bright moonlight, so bright though the front of our part of the crescent was in shadow, nothing could be well seen. I threw a glance up at our window and saw Lucy's head leaning out. I thought that perhaps she was looking out for me, so I opened my handkerchief and waved it. She did not notice or make any movement whatever. Just then, the moonlight crept around an angle of the building. The light fell on the window. It was distinctly Lucy with her head lying up against the side of the windowsill, and eyes shut. She was fast asleep, and by her, seated on the windowsill, was something that looked like a good-sized bird. I was afraid she might get a chill, so I went upstairs. But as I came into the room, she was moving back to her bed, fast asleep and breathing heavily. She was holding her hand to her throat, as though to protect it from the cold. I did not wake her, but tucked her up warmly. I've taken care that the door is locked and the window is securely fastened. She looks so sweet as she sleeps, that she is paler than is her wont. There's a drawn, haggard look under her eyes, which I do not like. I fear she is fretting about something. I wish I could find out what it is. 15th of August. Rose later than usual. Lucy was languid and tired, and slept on after we had been called. We had a happy surprise at breakfast. Arthur's father is better, and wants the marriage to come off soon. Lucy is full of quiet joy. Her mother is glad and sorry at once. Later on in the day, she told me the cause. She is grieved to lose Lucy as her very own. She is rejoiced that she is soon to have someone to protect her. Poor dear sweet lady. She confided to me that she has got her death warrant. She has not told Lucy. Made me promise secrecy. Her daughter told her that within a few months, at most, she must die, for her heart is weakening. At any time, even now, a sudden shock would be almost sure to kill her. Ah, we were wise to keep her from the affair of the dreadful night of Lucy's sleepwalking. Imagine being told, you must die. I know it's just the language of the time, but now, You just tell it, oh, you're, you're, you're going to die within the next time frame. But no, you must die. Girly Pop, we cannot have you on this earth any longer. 17th of August. No diary for 2 whole days. I have not the heart to write. Some sort of shadowy pall seems to be coming over our happiness. No news from Jonathan, and Lucy seems to be growing weaker, whilst her mother's hours are numbering to a close. Do not understand Lucy's fading away as she is doing. She eats well and sleeps well, enjoys the fresh air, but all the time the roses in her cheeks are fading. She gets weaker and more languid day by day. At night I hear her gasping as if for air. I keep the key of our door always fastened to my wrist at night. She gets up and walks about the room and sits at the open window. Last night I found her leaning out when I woke up. When I tried to wake her, I could not. She is in a faint. I managed to restore her. She was as weak as water, and cried silently between long, painful struggles for breath. When I asked her how she came to be at the window, she shook her head and turned away. I trust her feeling ill may not be from that unlucky prick of the safety pin. I looked at her throat just now as she lay asleep, and the tiny wounds seemed to not have healed. They are still open, and if anything, larger than before, and the edges of them are faintly white. They are like little white dots with red centers. Unless they heal within a day or two, I shall insist on the doctor seeing about them. Letter. Samuel F. Billington and Son, Solicitors, Whitby, to Messengers, Carter, Patterson & Co., London, 17th of August. Dear Sirs, herewith please receive the invoice of goods sent by the Great Northern Railway. Same are to be delivered at Carfax, near Purfleet, immediately on receipt at Good Station King's Cross. The house is at present empty, but enclosed please find keys, all of which are labeled. You'll deposit the boxes, 50 in number, which form the consignment, in partially ruined building forming part of the house and marked A on rough diagram enclosed. Your agent will easily recognize the locality, as is the ancient chapel of the mansion. The goods leave the train at 9:30 tonight, and will be due at King's Cross at 4:30 tomorrow afternoon. As our client wishes the delivery made as soon as possible, we shall be obliged by your having teams ready at King's Cross at the time named forthwith, conveying the goods to the destination. In order to obviate any delays through routine requirements as to payment in your departments, we shall enclose check herewith for £10, receipt of which please acknowledge. Should the charge be less than this amount, you can return the balance if greater. We shall at once send the check for difference on hearing for you. You are to leave the keys on coming away in the main hall of the house. Oh, thank you for the shout out. Shout out, Silver. Should charge be less than amount, you can return balance. If greater, we shall once send check for difference on hearing from you. You are to leave the keys on coming away in the main hall of the house. The proprietor may get them on his entering the house by the means of his duplicate key. Pray do not take us as exceeding bounds of business courtesy in pressing you all in ways to use the utmost expedition. We are, dear sirs, faithfully yours, Samuel F. Billington and Son. Hey, Lunana, how are you? Welcome in. Yes, we are reading Dracula. I hope you are enjoying your night. Yes, it is reading time, but I don't mind having a little chat. We've taken 3 hours. We have taken 2.5 hours to read like 1 chapter and a half. But if you are not already following Lunana, you should. He makes amazing, beautiful art. of rats and of OCs. And like I have had multiple beautiful things by them. And like I can't wait to get more beautiful things. Letter, Messengers, Carter and Paris and Co. London to Messengers, Billington and Sons, Whitby. I still haven't touched the book. It's sitting here to be ready to be read. Fortunately, I have these VODs. I'm not sure if reading along to my VODs is that great. Dear sirs, we beg to acknowledge the £10 received and to return a check of £1 and 17 shillings. 9. What's the D? What's the D? 9. Oh. 9D. Amount of overplus as shown in the receipted account herewith. Goods are delivered in exact accordance with instructions. And the keys left in the parcel room as directed. There's shillings, there's pounds, there's shillings, there's... I won't know. What is the D? Where is the D? Me on a Saturday night. Yes, sirs, yours respectfully, Pro Carter Paston and Co. Mina Murray's journal. 18th of August. I am happy today, and ride sitting on a seat in the churchyard. Lucy is ever so better. Last night she slept well all night and did not disturb me once. The roses seem coming back already to her cheeks, though she is still sadly pale and wan-looking. If she were in any way anemic, I could understand it, but she is not. She is in gay spirits and full of life and cheerfulness. All the morbid reticence seems to have passed from her. She has just reminded me, as if I needed any reminding, of that night, and that it was here, on this very seat, I found her asleep. As she told me, she tapped playfully with the heel of her boot on the stone slab and said, "My poor little feet didn't make much noise then. I dare say poor old Mr. Swells would have told me that was because I didn't want to wake up Geordie." As she was in such a communicative humor, I asked if she had dreamed all that night. Before she answered, that sweet puckered look came into her forehead, which Arthur, I call him Arthur from her habit, says he loves. Indeed, I don't wonder that he does. Then she went on in a half-dreaming way, as if trying to recall it to herself. I didn't quite dream. It all seemed to be real. I only wanted to be here in this spot. I don't know why, but I was afraid of something. I don't know what. I remember, though, I suppose I was asleep, passing through the streets, and over the bridge. A fish leaped as I went by, and I leaned over to look at it. I heard a lot of dogs howling. The whole town seemed as if to be full of dogs and howling at once. As I went up the steps, then I had a vague memory of something long and dark with red eyes, just as we saw in the sunset, and something very sweet and very bitter all around me at once. And then I seemed to be sinking into deep green water, and there was a singing in my ears, as I heard there is no drowning men. And then everything seemed passing away from me. My soul seemed to go out from my body and float about the air. I seem to remember that once the West Lighthouse was right under me, and then there was a sort of agonizing feeling, as if I were in an earthquake. I came back and found you shaking my body. I saw you do it before I felt you. Then she began to laugh. It seemed a little uncanny to me, and I listened to her breathlessly. Not quite like it. Thought better not to keep her mind on the subject. So we drifted on to other subjects, and Lucy was like her old self again. When we got home, the fresh breeze had braced her up. Her pale cheeks were really more rosy. Her mother rejoiced when she saw her, and we all spent a very happy evening together. I am also anemic, actually. However, I tend to eat a lot of iron-rich food, so I normally don't feel it. I'm like mostly red meat. I'm mostly red meat. Mm. Okay, hold on. Let me stretch. But yeah, there are some times where I'm like, where I get really like woozy and I'm like, oh, I need to shove something into my face. I need to. I used to be anemic. Yeah. Yeah, I think I have it. I think it's like, yeah, another problem solved by not being one. Yeah, for me, I just have it generically, I think. 19th of August. Joy, joy, joy. Although not all. Sorry. Although not all joy. At last, news of Jonathan. The dear fellow has been ill. That is why he did not write. I'm afraid to think. I'm not afraid to think or say it now that I know. Mr. Hawkins sent me on the letter, and wrote himself, oh so kindly. I am to leave in the morning and go over to Jonathan, help to nurse him if necessary, and to bring him home. Mr. Hawkins says that it would not be a bad thing if we were to be married out there. I've cried over the good sister's letter till I can feel it wet against my bosom, where it lies. Is of Jonathan must be next my heart. Is of Jonathan, it must be next my heart, for he's in my heart. My journey's all mapped out and my luggage ready. Only taking one change of dress. Lucy will bring my trunk to London. Keep it till I send for it. For it may be that I must write no more. I must keep it to say to Jonathan, my husband. Now that he has seen and touched must comfort me until we next meet. Letter, Sister Agatha, Hospital of Joseph and St. Mary, Budapest, to St. Wilhelmina Murray. Wilhelmina? Oh, so Mina is just a nickname, okay. Dear Madam, I write by desire of Mr. Jonathan Hawker, who himself is not strong enough to write, though progressing well, thanks to God and St. Joseph, and Sister? Saintess. It's Saintess Mary. He has been under our care for nearly 6 weeks, suffering from a violent brain fever. He wishes to convey his love, to say that by this post I write for him to Mr. Peter Hawkins, Exeter, to say, with his dutiful respects, that he is sorry for his delay, that all of his work is completed. He will require some few weeks in our sanatorium in the hills, but will then return. He wishes me to say that he has not sufficient money with him, that he would like to pay for his staying here, so that others who need shall not be wanting for help. Believe me, yours with sympathy and all blessings, Sister Agatha. P.S. My patient, being asleep, opened this to let you know something more. He has told me all about you, and that you are shortly to be his wife. His wife. All blessings to you both. He has had some fearful shock, so says our doctor. In his delirium, his ravings have been dreadful, of wolves and poison and blood, of ghosts and demons, and I fear to say of what. Be careful with him, always, that there may be nothing to excite him of this kind for a long time to come. The traces of such an illness as his do not lightly die away. We should have written long ago, but we knew nothing of his friends. There was on him nothing that no one could understand. He came in from the train from Klausenburg, and the guard was told by the station master that he rushed into the station shouting for a ticket home. Seeing from his violent demeanor that he was English, they gave him a ticket for the furthest station on the way thither that the train reached. Be assured that he is well cared for. for he has won all the hearts by his sweetness and gentleness. He's truly getting on well. Have no doubt Will in a few weeks will be all himself, but be careful of him for safety's sake. There are, I pray, God and Saint Joseph and Saintess Mary, many, many happy years for you both. Yay, Jonathan is alive! But for how long, though? Yay, Jonathan's alive, but for how long, though? Dr. Seward's Diary, 19th of August. That's the least reassuring and most reassuring letter she's ever received. Oh, my husband's alive, but he's mental. My husband's alive, but he's in a mental sanatorium. Yay! No! Yay, but no! But yay, but no! Brain fever. The grossest combination of two words. Cause you know, brain fever is not a thing you want. That is not a diagnosis you come back from. Especially not in this story. Dr. Seward's Diary, 19th of August. Strange and so unchained in Renfield last night. About 8 o'clock, he began to get excited and sniff about as a dog does when setting. The attendant was struck by his manner, and knowing my interest in him, encouraged him to talk. He's usually respectful to the attendant and at times servile, but tonight, the man tells me, he was quite haughty. Not condescending to talk with him at all. All he would say was, I don't want to talk to you. You don't count now. The master is at hand. Is that like meningitis? Brain fever, I think, if I remember correctly, is a term for a lot of mental conditions, I think. Let me Google. Oh, wait, hold on. My grimoire is DuckDuckGo now. Let me consult the Grand Grimoire DuckDuckGo. Yeah, it's basically, mental illness. It's basically a mental illness, like, general, you have something wrong with you in your head, and, we can't cure it, sorry. Well, not we can't cure it, but they seem to, like, relate to, like, emotional shock. They seem to relate to things like trauma, so it's basically word for you're fucked up in the head. Whether or not you actually get healed or not is mostly up to chance. Kind of like trauma now, honestly. We haven't really progressed much. I mean, we progressed a lot, but we still haven't found cures. You know, it's not something I want to think about. I don't want to think about how much we haven't actually progressed since Victorian times. It's not a thought I want to have. That's not a thought I want to have right now. At least in the Victorian times, I'd be on heroin. At least in the Victorian times, I would be on heroin. The attendant thinks it's some sudden form of religious mania which had seized him, so we must look out for squalls. For a strong man with homicidal and religious mania at once might be dangerous. The combination is a dreadful one. At 9 o'clock I visited him myself. That to me was the same as that to the attendant. His sublime self feeling the difference between myself and the attendant seemed to him as nothing. Looks like religious mania. He will soon think that himself is a god. These infinitesimal distractions between man and man are too paltry for an omnipotent being. How these madmen give themselves away. The real God taketh heed lest the sparrow fall. God created from human vanity sees no difference between an eagle and a sparrow. Oh, if men only knew. For half an hour or more, Manfield kept getting excited in greater degree. I did not pretend to be watching him, but I kept strict observation all the same. All at once that shifty look came into his eyes, which we always see when a madman has seized an idea. And with it the shifty movement of the head, back, which asylum attendants come to know so well. He became quite quiet, and went and sat on the edge of his bed resignedly, and looked into the space with lackluster eyes. I thought I would find out if his apathy were real or only assumed, and tried to lead him to talk of his pets, a theme which I never failed to excite his attention. First he made no reply, but at length he said testily, "Bother them all, I don't care a pin about them." Time for me to do that thing called shave, so I look like a respectable adult at work tomorrow. I have like a few days before I do that, though I could do it tonight. What? What? I said. You mean you tell me that you don't care about spiders? Spiders at present are his hobby, and the notebook is filling up with columns of small figures. To this he answered enigmatically. The bridemaidens rejoice the eyes that wait the coming of the bride. But when the bride draweth nigh, then the maidens shine, not to the eyes that are filled. He would not explain himself, but remained obstinately seated on his bed all the time I remained with him. I am weary tonight in low spirits. I cannot but think of Lucy, how different things might have been. If I don't sleep at once, Chloral, the modern Morpheus, C2HCl 3O H2O. I must be careful not to let it grow into a habit. No, I shall take none tonight. I have thought of Lucy. I shall not dishonor her by mixing the two. If need be, tonight shall be sleepless. Are you saying that beards are respectable? No, I just hate shaving. The only reason I shave is because I hate facial hair more than I hate shaving. I'm very much the person you don't buy nice razor kits for. You buy me the 200 pack of... you buy me the 200 pack of, like, little plastic things that is going to choke a seagull when it gets thrown away into the dumpster. I know that's dark humor, but it's like, the only thing I can imagine is like, it's because like, I don't need fancy shaving kits. I just need the $2 razor. But if you hate shaving, wear a nice razor, make it easier. It's because the fancier razors are for people who are shaving every day. Those fancy-ass razors, they're for people who are shaving every day. I shave once every 2 weeks. I don't go out enough to be shaving every day. So, like, I should just be given the trash razors. Like, I'm still using razors I got from last year's Christmas. That should tell you how often I shave. Like, this is so, like, if I'm giving nice razors, I'm like, this could have gone to someone who likes it. Y'all are getting the lore. Vesper don't like shaving, but shaves because he hates facial hair more. You wanna know what I want as a gift? A coupon for electrolysis. Or Nair. Give me Nair. I want to never shave again. I don't like facial hair. I don't think I'll ever want facial hair. Why should I have to deal with it? I'm not going to be old and change my mind. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I will never have it. I never will want facial hair. I guess it does for some folks. It might be that it might be like a combination of skin and oils and stuff. Later I made the resolution, gladder that I kept to it. I had lain tossing about, heard the clock strike only twice, and the night watchman came for me, sent out from the ward to say Winfield had escaped. I threw on my clothes and ran down at once. My patient is too dangerous a person to be roaming about. Those ideas of his might work out dangerously with strangers. The attendant was waiting for me. He said that he had seen him not 10 minutes before, seemingly asleep in his bed. And he looked through the observation trap in the door. His attention was called by the sound of a window being wrenched out. He came back and saw his feet disappear through the window, and had at once sent up for me. He's only his night gear and cannot be far off. The attendant thought it would be more useful to watch where he should go than follow him, as he might lose sight of him while getting out of the building by the door. He's a bulky man, and couldn't get through the window. I am thin, so with his aid, I got out, but feet foremost, and as we were only a few feet above the ground, landed unhurt. The attendant told me that the patient had gone to the left, had taken a straight line, so I ran as quickly as I could. As I cut through the bell trees, I saw a white figure scale the high wall which separates our grounds from those of the deserted house. I paid so much for it like 10 years ago now, and I got a full beard now, so it didn't do a damn thing. I ran at once, told the watchman to get 3 or 4 men immediately and follow me to the grounds of Carfax, in case our friend might be dangerous. I got out of myself, crossing the wall, and dropped down to the other side. I could see Renfield's figure just disappearing behind the angle of the house, so I ran after him. On the far side of the house, I found him pressed close against the old iron-bound oak door of the chapel. He was talking, apparently, to someone, but I was afraid to go near enough to hear what he was saying, lest I might frighten him. He should run off. Chasing an errant swarm of bees is nothing to following a naked lunatic, when the fit of escaping is upon him. After a few minutes, however, I could see that he did not take note of anything around him, so I ventured to draw nearer to him. The more so that my men had now crossed the wall, were closing him in. I heard him say, "I am here to do your bidding, master. I am your slave. You will reward me, for I shall be faithful. I have worshipped you long and afar off. Now that you are near, I await your commands. And you will not pass me by, will you, dear master, in your distribution of good things?" He is a selfish old beggar, anyhow. Hold on, let me repeat that. He is a selfish old beggar, anyhow. He thinks of the loaves and fishes, even when he believes he is in a real presence. His mania is making a startling combination. When we closed in on him, he fought like a tiger. He's immensely strong, for he's more like a wild beast than a man. Never saw a lunatic in such a paroxysm of rage before. I hope I shall not again. It is a mercy that we found out his strength and his danger in good time. With strength and determination like this, he might have done wild work before he was caged. He is safe now at any rate. Jack Shepherd himself couldn't get free from the straight waistcoat that keeps him restrained. He is chained to the wall in the padded room. His cries are at times awful, but the silences that follow are more deadly still, for he means to murder in every turn and movement. Just now he spoke coherent words for the first time. "I shall be patient, master. It is coming, coming, coming." So I took the hint and came to. I was too excited to sleep, but this diet has quieted me. I shall get some sleep tonight. What do you mean you came to? What? What? Chapter 9. I'm not going to read tonight. Instead, I'm going to send this to myself. And we're gonna call it there. And where am I looking at? Thank you guys for joining me tonight. It was really fun having everyone. Let me see. Oh, let me unmute my music. But how did y'all enjoy that? We're now seeing things pick up. Lucy has been bitten. Lucy's probably a vampire now. Renfield has always... I'm not sure if Renfield has always been like this servant to Dracula, but maybe there's something wrong with Renfield and he's like sensing Dracula's presence. Jonathan's okay, but he's also in the same fucking sanatorium as fucking Renfield. Good for him, I guess. Or bad for him, good for story. Bad for him, but delicious for the story, not gonna lie. Okay, is the people who I want to rate still on? Okay, we have... Yeah. Oh, mute tab. Mute tab. I know it's chaos, so I'm gonna mute tab. So, I know who we're going to raid. We're going to raid the artist, both the rig and the art artist of this model, my bat model. It's fun. Continue the project. I'll probably continue making hooves as the mood takes me until I finally have all of them. Nice! But we're going to go raid Snur. Snur. Snur is the word. I might be streaming tomorrow, I might not. Will depend on my energy level, but it was fun streaming tonight. I have Trial of Hearts on Wednesday. First Trial of Hearts of the year. So I'm excited. And I will not be streaming on Friday because I have stuff to do on Friday, and I think I'll just take Friday off in general. But I will see y'all either Monday or Tuesday, and then whenever else. But good night, good fortune. See you when I see you. Bye.